Hi, my name's Annette, and I just have a few questions. Who here plays video games? Okay, now who has siblings? Would you let your siblings play those video games? Wow, okay. So my argument is going to be video games having a negative effect on young adolescents and children. So, sorry guys. It goes anywhere from children producing negative changes in behavior as they're young to academic studies decreasing, and as well as having long-term effects on health. So beginning with my first claim, young children, as we grow up, usually children learn by doing. If the older child throws a ball, they'll throw a ball exactly the same way. They mimic they mimic us basically. They basically would learn from these video games what they're doing. And then Dr. Patrick Markey and Charlotte Markey, they did a study and found that there's three traits that gamers actually develop. So the first one would be anger and depression. The second one would be being very distant and very cold with other people, as well as having low levels of acting without thinking. So this is not a good sign as we're children, because children are more, more outgoing than we are. So they would run out the street without thinking about it, while we would be like, okay, we'll look both ways. My second claim would be that video games would decrease academic scores, because once it's sort of like an addiction. Once you start playing, you can't really stop. You go to school, you're thinking about, oh, how can I beat the next level? You go home and stay up all night beating it while your homework's on the side. We do that with Netflix. Come on, guys. So it's like they really wouldn't be paying attention and they would have low attention span in class because they're thinking about the next level. My last one would be how video games would have a long-term effect on health, which is a big issue. Because those who play, as I said before, will get addicted. It's much like alcohol, sometimes drugs, but in a sense it's different. They can actually suffer from
Epilepsy.
Thank you. So those who do suffer have a higher chance of reaching for sharp objects, leaving reality sometimes, as well as playing with their life thinking it's like a game. They can also suffer from headaches, facial muscular spasm, and or eyesight disorder. And if you do have eyesight disorder, you become more suspicious, more aggressive, and or hostile. And then, as well as them being children, if you're in a harsh environment, you think violence is okay. So once you're playing these video games, you're thinking like, oh, this is fine, I'm just running over these children. Which is, they think it's all right, but it's not. And usually playing 10 to 20 minutes actually increases activity in certain areas, such as arousal, anxiety, emotional reaction, but it's decreasing brain activity. Players who tend to be closer to the screen will have a higher risk of being exposed to having seizures because of the flickering lights. So in conclusion, video games will have a negative effect on younger adolescents, anywhere from health to academics to behavior.